This season we start off at Brands Hatch on the short circuit. We then go to Thruxton.
And then Mallory Park, Oulton Park,
Mondello Park. Then we go to Croft.
Knockhill, then Snetterton,
Silverstone, Cadwell Park,
back to Oulton Park.
Donington.
Then we finish the season at Brands Hatch on the Grand Prix circuit. Paul was the first one, which we had back in the Phil Giles days. Glen Richards, I thought's been here long enough. Brucey, a New Zealander, he wants to hang upside down all the while. Dean Thomas, my other rider, came over with Glen originally. Steve, my son, he's doing pretty good. Johnny T, he's our engine builder. Roy jumped on the team with us. Lee works for me Thursday, Friday, Saturdays. Frank and Kim, the lorry drivers, they're both tyre people. Tina, she's one of the brolly dollies, she enjoys that bit. My wife, she just likes work really. I'm trying to slow her down at the moment.
We've been supplied with video cameras to do video diaries basically. As a run up to each round. I'm sitting here on my motorhome trying to relax at the moment. But it looks like I've got to do my video diary again. To just take them everywhere we go really.
The ambitions of myself and the lads is doing World Superbike, and we'll keep striving to get onto that podium.
So we're going to be doing 150 mile an hour in a minute standing still.
For once, I don't want Australians to win.
We had a little bit of a problem in qualifying, we had an engine actually give us a bit of a problem right at the crucial moment.
But you're not only racing against your competitor, you're actually competing against the circuit. Final qualification didn't go as we had liked, but we were happy with the race setup. Richards has got a big monk on because England won the test. Glen had an excellent first race. The people that have been watching BSB will know that Lavilla and Haslam, a little bit of coming together, with a little stroke of luck on that last lap, and we've got a podium there with Glen.
Oh, I trust you. At least it's not in the bottom.
The last lap I clipped the curb. The curbs aren't very forgiving here. No.
And we've got a few little things that we're doing to the motor for Oulton Park, so
You got it?
we might just surprise a few there, hopefully.
Okay.
the 11th race of the season, back to Oulton Park.
We then go back to Oulton.
Oulton Park would probably be one of the hardest tracks in the UK, as in it's very undulating up and down, fast sweeping bends, hairpin bends and what have you, so it's probably one of the hardest circuits.
MCN ran a competition for someone to be a guest mechanic for the weekend.
If you just sent, I think, your email address in and phone number, you could win a prize of being Hawk technician for the day.
And a young lad named Ben won that, who normally in his day job was a manager for Tesco supermarket, but was a real nice lad. He spent the whole weekend with us. He slept in the truck with the guys, worked real hard, and really, funnily enough, was quite an asset to the team.
Nick called me on Tuesday and told me that I was going to be here Friday, Saturday, Sunday with the guys, working with on the bikes.
I think I've got his age right. Sorry if I haven't, Ben, but I think he's 27. And he came along Friday and was with us all weekend. He's got Radio 1 on these.
He was quite a hoot, and I think he enjoyed the weekend actually, and he was a bit of a help too. You know, he made lots of tea and helped pull the whole thing apart at the end of the day on Sunday. So no, he was a good bloke actually, and I think he enjoyed himself. A bit different from his normal day at the office, I think.
He did an excellent job at making the tea. But no, we got him to do a few technical things as well, and he enjoyed himself. He was up there on the pit wall and with the stopwatch, and yeah, good lad.
Okay, Oulton, yeah, it went pretty well through practice, and qualifying he went pretty well. Both him and Glen ended up on the second row.
Basically they're going out to test their race tyres, just coming out to check with these guys what they'd sent them out on.
Well, Oulton threw its normal weather at us, which is a real bummer really, because the weather's been super this year in England. We started off first practice on wets, then went to cuts, and I think maybe got 2 laps in on slicks. And then in the afternoon it was slicks, but it was slicks with a circuit like 6 foot wide because it was dry. But we were there, both riders in the top 6 all the time, which was pleasing.
Yeah. Take 3 off. Alright.
Took some preload off the front forks, Mike. That's the area we're working on, so that's what we've been changing last night, so we're just experimenting a little bit. So yeah, he's not too bad though.
We had a chance to try a new tyre, which Glen went half a second quicker on that tyre, so at times was looking really good from when we was there earlier in the season. I just like running through the settings for morning warm-up there, so let's get it all ready. Do a little bit of testing on the front tyre, and then we can choose something for the race.
I've spoke to quite a few people, you know, and getting to know 1 or 2 people, and I'm enjoying myself.
Both riders on the second row, and 200 of a second off pole, so it was real close. We had a bit of a laugh really with Lavilia, because he tagged both the riders. Dina decided that they was going to tow Glen round for a quick lap, because Glen was just struggling to get a real quick lap in. And Lavilia tagged on the back of both of them, but we had the crack after, so that was quite nice. He realised, you know, that he probably wouldn't have stuck himself on pole if it hadn't been for R2.
We've changed a few things with the front end of the bike just to see if we can solve a bit of a problem we've had. But I know it's a bit late, but we'll give it a go. You never know. If it works, it works.
Well, we're just trying some new things on the front end. Not the ideal time to be trying them, but I'm quite happy with the setup in some of the slower corners, so we've just gone for a change on the front and see what the guys say.
Broad boy.
What? Board boy. See what name I've got now? Board boy.
Oulton Park. Second time round for us. The rain's been on and off, and I mean the forecast before we got here was for atrocious conditions really for 3 days, so we've been quite lucky because we've had a few breaks in the clouds and managed to get a bit of dry time on the track, which has been good.
Well, it's that time of the night again, diary time, my favourite time of the night, and we're at Oulton Park again. It's the second time we're coming here this year. I think it's, where is it? 11th round of the championship. Yeah, 11th round. So we've got 2 more to go after this one, and it's been a bit of a mixed weekend so far.
Qualifying today, it's gone pretty good really. In some respects, I've gone a second faster around here than what I've ever gone in my life, so that's good. Only problem is, last time I were here in was it May or whatever, earlier in the year, I qualified 4th on the front row at a 37.5, and this weekend I've qualified 5th at a 36.5. So
the weather report for this weekend hasn't been very good, and it's just been showering on and off, and it's, you know, those conditions that sort of aren't a lot of fun really for anybody, and it's just been a matter of trying to get out and do the best we can and get some lap times in and sort of try and get some data, but at the same time not doing anything stupid, you know.
I've got probably Dean to thank for the for my qualifying today. He gave me a tow around, and he didn't really have to really, but he did a lap in front of me, and he did a 36.8 and I did a 36.5 behind him, you know, so that was nice. Lavilia was behind me and he did a 36.3 and put it on pole. So
we got a good 20 minutes into the session and it started to sprinkle rain again, and it just sort of caused a bit of havoc, and we didn't really get a chance to do what we need to do really. I mean, I sort of struggled a bit. You know, I think I ended up 10th at the end of the first session.
I think Lavilia was pretty happy as well. He came down and said thank you. Just realised I'm watching Kelly's Heroes on the TV, and it's probably putting you guys off. I'm a bit of a Clint Eastwood fan. I should turn it down, really.
Yeah, I was on pole at one stage early on, but ended up dropping backwards a bit really, and ended up finishing 8th. It was unlucky in one sense. I towed a couple of riders through, which moved up in front of me, which I didn't really need to be doing, but it was a situation where I sort of had to. And second row start.
Nice to get back on the podium again, and bloody hard to get on the podium, but it'd be nice to get back on there. And
weather report's meant to be reasonable for tomorrow. I think it's meant to hold off, you know, so at least as long as it's one or the other, you know, instead of all this mist and stuff coming through. And who knows? We need to be running at the front, and that's the plan. So let's see what happens.
We'll see what happens tomorrow, and fingers crossed we can get back on the podium. Cheers.
Movements to the bike, so that should be helpful for the race. Should be good, I think.
We've tweaked them a little bit more now, so hopefully we're bang on. We'll find out.
There we go.
The warmers have to come off when they come off on a bike on the grid. They have to come off here. Otherwise, we get a slap wrist. One of the many.
Race 1.
Glen's got a good start in P4, so I hope he can go out the front group, and I think hopefully she'll be up there.
Running marathons against the wind. Underdog in a lion's den.
Dino P7.
Well, both lads are well up. P3 and P7, so we've got to just hang in there if we can now and see what happens.
Swimming upstream.
He's having a good run at the front. He's battling away with Reynolds and all the boys. And Dean's slipping slowly backwards. I think we better bash him. He's got Michael Rudder behind him. He's holding him at bay, hopefully. Don't want to go backwards anymore, Mike.
Dean's dropped now into 39s, which is a long way off the pace. Is 2 seconds off what the leaders are doing, and we need to address that when he gets back. He's either got a problem or the bike's got a problem, and we'll get it sorted for the next one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, finish 5th. Always difficult when you finish 5th and you're inside for the leader. But there we go. That's live.
P5, so yeah, good race. Tried really hard, and I think he just probably might have used his tyre up early on, so we'll see on the debrief. Glen rode really probably his best ride he's had this season, and even though we finished 5th, up till the dying stage of the race we was 4th, but we was with the leading pack.
11th. We thought it would go better than that, actually. A bit disappointed, really. But we'll see what he's got to say when he comes in.
237. Once you take that engine back, once you take that engine out this week and pull that gearbox out.
Yeah.
Don't take it to Donington like that.
Yeah.
Otherwise I won't ride it.
Yeah.
I can't get gears.
He started slipping back again after a good start. And he ended up 11th, so we're a bit disappointed with that. I was ready to see what he said when he came in, and he was having trouble getting down the gearbox going into corners. So, but we had no trouble all weekend like that, so we're a bit mystified. So we ended up modifying the gear lever halfway between the first race and second race. So me and Johnny were out with the drills and bolts modifying quickly. Hacking apart a perfectly good footrest worth hundreds of pounds here. Because we're having gearbox, well no, we're not having gearbox troubles, we're having gear change problems. And we've just finally looked at the size of Dean's feet and they're horrendously large. And we think his gear lever might need to be a bit longer.
We're just overlaying Dean and Glen's race one, just seeing where we can make some improvements. Both are struggling a little bit with the race shocks. Similar but slightly different in the way they're set up. Yeah, just see if we can fine tune and make some improvements.
We've just ruined this one and we're going to bolt this extra little piece here on the edge of the old gear lever. And we're going to make it longer by bolting this piece on. It won't look pretty, but we don't care.
First race went absolutely great for Glen, and the pace was really, really hot. But ended up again on a five-man dice, hanging up in that dreaded 5th place again. But he was there. Dean had a bit of a disaster really in the race. For some inexplicable reason, he said he couldn't change down the gearbox real quick. So Bruce and Steve decided to make him a slightly longer gear lever for the second race, because we're looking at his boot where he's changing gear and it was almost on top of his foot, which is a strange thing to be doing at this time of the year.
A bit disappointed, to be honest. I'm struggling a little bit. I don't know whether I'm physically doing something wrong when I'm shifting, but for some reason I'm struggling a bit with the gear shifts, and the boys are trying to work out what it is, but I finished 10th, I think I finished, and that's, you know, not where I should be.
We basically made the gear lever longer to try and fit his foot better, because he has quite big feet, Dino. And we decided just to try it and change the clutch lever as well to make sure he could disengage the clutch a bit easier.
Race 2.
Glen's P6, Dean's P8, I think, not sure.
Rutter's crashed.
.43.7 plus .5.
Dean started okay and it's got better. And Dean's actually passed Glen, so Dean's in 7th and Glen's in 8th. He went well, he actually did better times. He ended up 7th, which was good. He actually overtook Glen 4 laps in the end. So the all-important teammate race, he beat him. But yeah, he still having a bit of trouble. Obviously not quite as much, but still didn't quite solve it. So we're a bit puzzled over that one.
Same problem still. Exactly the same problem. So I don't know what we're going to do. I think you might get the boys pulling it out and have a look, I think. But we've changed gear shift, like we changed the lever, we've redesigned the lever and changed the clutch mechanism, and I changed the way I was doing it just to eliminate every other thing, and we're still doing it, so it's not me.
Yeah, hard work there. I mean, that was a 7th and 8th in the race and really hard work. You know, we've probably had, and people will have, and we have had podiums that were easy to do that, really.
It's been a good day, really. 2 finishes, or I think 4 finishes. Me and Dean finished both races. Dean beat me in the second race. He had a good ride. Struggled a bit in the second race. Just had a bit of chatter that appeared from nowhere. One of those things. I think I didn't feel like rear end was behaving itself in the second race, where in the first race it felt very, very good.
It's a matter now of getting the power to the ground as good as everyone else, you know, which is always a problem everyone has.
Thought we might make the podium, but you know, that pace is real hot, so it's good to be in a championship that's hot as this.
We left Oulton Park with good points, and again, bikes upright and no rebuilds, which is good.
We'll keep plugging away, and Oulton Park to come, Brand's full circuit to come, so hopefully, you know, we can get on that podium with 1 or 2 of the riders.
My daughter, Alison Galley.
Just checking me clutch, Mike. Always check your clutch.
Spoken to so many people this year, a lot of promises, a lot of disappointment, and we do need another real 200 grand. We need to be tested.
That's a love heart, that is, Dean.
She's got a love heart on the top of your face.
No idea. I don't know what to expect anymore.
You go away. You don't film water anyone?
Friday morning in the wet. Glen got knocked off a Kia in the afternoon. I went home, made a cup of tea for the wife with a cold crab.
Out, out, out.